forceful police tactics, as well as the race relations in American society.
Political analyst Daniel Patrick Welch joins me now from Boston. Mr. Welch, why do you think the shooting of Michael Brown has caused so much resentment among the American public?
Well, the obvious fact is that you have an unarmed teenager shot by a white cop, but the deeper issue is that it's the tip of the iceberg. Even as this decision was coming down, another black youth, 12-year-old Tamir Rice, was shot playing with a toy gun on a playground in Cleveland, Ohio, because the cops mistook it for a real gun and shot him before they could ascertain. This happens routinely. It is an ugly truth about the underbelly of American culture that we have two systems and two societies, one for white people and one for non-white people. And it is, people are just fed up, and they're very, very angry, and there are very few avenues through which to channel that anger. You hear the president saying that we have to respect the rule of law. I mean, the law has been shafting people for hundreds of years. So how can you ask them to do that?
So is it safer to say that in the US, different races are treated unequally by the criminal justice system?
Absolutely. There's no question about it, and the statistics don't lie. Your full disclosure, I'm married to an African-American woman. We raise black and brown kids. We worry all the time. It's a separate life from the parents of white children. I'm not saying that all parents don't have similar worries, but white children are allowed youthful indiscretions and excused youthful mistakes that routinely get black and brown children killed. Black teens are 21 times more likely to be shot by police than their white counterparts. They smoke marijuana at about the same level, and yet black kids are 4 times more likely to get arrested for it. And when they do get arrested, the punishments are much harsher. It's a very different reality. And what you see is the system trying to constantly sweep that under the carpet, because any peeling back of that reality unleashes a Pandora's box of the truth that is the American justice, or just us system for white people.
So do you think this anger that we are seeing on the streets will spread even further throughout the US?
Well, in a way, I hope so. This is 90 cities and counting that are participating in this this kind of uprising. But you also have the power, the repressive power of the state, which has grown by leaps and bounds since 9/11. The heavy, as your voiceover said there, the heavily militarized local police forces. And it's interesting to talk about the rule of law. In 2010, 162,000 federal cases were entered, and only 11 of them returned without an indictment. So grand juries indict. That's exactly what they do. That's what Reverend Sharpton was saying. If the prosecutor wants it to happen, he can indict a ham sandwich, as an old saying goes. But this doesn't apply to black and brown people, especially young black men.
Looking at the situation from the outside, it does seem that despite the US having a black president, the country still has nationwide racial grievances.
Yeah, well, my wife and I have lived through this period, and we've seen actually a sort of a change, that there is this is not black people resisting, the police. This is white people resisting change. And we can feel and see a difference. It's almost like an in-your-face, look, you've got your black president, what more do you want? And the president himself has been completely ineffective, even at using the tiny bully pulpit power that he has. The split screen is irony in the extreme. That vision of him talking to people, telling black folks to settle down, merged with the tear gassing of his own people by local cops. Cognitive dissonance is absolutely mind-blowing.
So does it go beyond a corrupt judicial and law enforcement system? Is it by accident that we are seeing more shootings of African Americans by white policemen?
No, it's a several hundred-year crime. You can't it's an ongoing crime. And you can't just say it's rotten apples or it's a corruption within the system. White supremacy cannot be separated from the system. It is the how and why of why and how this system has evolved the way it has. It's a central element of it. And so everything exists to shore this up and to assuage white people. White people are supposed to be angry about looting, but they're not angry about corporations losing their future. They're not angry about the U.S. looting country after country. It's a sickness.
All right, Mr. Welch, thank you for speaking to Ali Tujar.
Thank you, Fatima.